right, so
Wait, I have a question. Who's the biggest name dropper here?
Great question. It's not me.
What are you talking about?
It might be me. I said John Travolta.
It's one of these two. It's either Rich or Mike.
TJ knows the most celebrities,
but he doesn't like to drop their names. You like to bring the names
I
up.
dropped the name. By the way, he knows everybody.
And he knows Nick Zano, my amazing co-star in Obliterated. And he told me you're a huge Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, we were text DMing last night, and I was like, hey, do you have any stories that we can share with Shelley? And he goes, yeah, man, she's a huge Cowboys fan. Now, I just read our notes, and I'm like, it says she's a Saints fan. I'm like, well, wait a second, man.
Is he setting you up?
He's causing mass chaos, like in his show.
and me knowing
Were
Nick,
you like...
Me knowing Nick, because Nick has been, Rich, you know how I feel about the Cowboys, but I told you I got to a certain point where I had to stop. Nick was like, he loved to read my Facebook posts where I would just lose my mind. I'm not like that anymore, but he was a very big proponent of it, so I can see why he probably did that.
Which is to set you up.
To set me up with her, so I could say, hey, I hear you're a Cowboy fan, and she would have responded and cursed at me.
How would you have responded?
I would have responded, I'm a huge Saints fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my family would disown me.
Okay. And are you? That's where you're from?
Yeah, from New Orleans.
Okay.
So...
I get this all the time because I'm from New York City.
Right.
And they say, you don't sound like you're from New York. You don't sound like you're from Louisiana.
I will on Saturday when I go home. It's a problem.
It just comes straight out?
It is real thick.
It is?
And it's not like country. It's pretty Cajun. Yeah. Like,
okay.
I feel like my brother, he'd laugh at this, but like I need a translator sometimes. Like I when I'm bringing other people who are not from Louisiana, it's just really hard to understand the accent, but it's really special.
Can you slip right back into it or what? What can you do for me?
I mean, usually when I say when I'm drunk,
okay.
like that.
I get it.
Where you going? Where you at?
Where you at? Okay.
Where your mom and them?
Your mom and them.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
Those are just a few.
It's Nolans too, right?
And we just drag out our words a lot.
A friend
More
of
like
mine
a
was
slang too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, the Saints are in town tomorrow night.
I know. I'm not able to make it. Well, I'm traumatized. The last time I saw a Saints game in Los Angeles, it was with the Rams, and it was when Breeze hurt his finger. And hit it
right on Aaron Donald's helmet.
Yes,
I remember that, and it really messed with the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. And then the no call in 2019, I was at the Superdome.
You were.
I was there
for the NFC Championship game.
We were going to go to the Super Bowl, right?
You were going to go to the. You were. It was. Let's just put it this way: high probability that you were going to the Super Bowl in Atlanta, of all places.
I know, which is our.
That's it.
That's our rivalry.
For you to go and win the championship in that building, and for Falcons fans, they would consider it befouling the new stadium too.
Yes.
To say this is their house.
Yes.
Having that opportunity.
Been amazing, right? But I'm at that game and we're thinking like this is happening.
Yes.
And what's important to remember is we won shortly after Hurricane Katrina. And actually when we won, my mom and stepdad were at the Super Bowl and my mom called me and she was like, honey, this is more exciting than when you won Miss Teen USA. I was dying.
How'd you take that?
I loved it. Okay. I mean, I'm the only girl and I have two brothers. So like I get a lot of, attention. Sure. I was like, it was lovely. But it was really like winning that Super Bowl when we did it meant more maybe than, one would expect.
I was in the house for both of those nights for the Super Bowl win in South Florida in 2009, calendar year 2010. And then back when the Superdome reopened after Katrina. I will never forget that night. It was one of the most special nights I've ever been a part of for my job with the NFL. And when Michael Vick fumbled the ball out of bounds in the first opening drive, and everybody was screaming and yelling, it was the loudest I've heard a building. And then it rumbled, and then it fumbled out of bounds, and then everyone and they thought that meant Atlanta was going to maybe score or get a first down or whatever, and then they wound up punting, and then it was blocked for the touchdown, which now has the Steve Gleason statue. I'm getting goosebumps just even talking about it right now. Just being in the building that night, there's nothing like it. There it is. There it is that night. So, and then that led to a couple years later, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So you were, however, in the Superdome the night of the
no call. And I mean, it was loud. It's the loudest stadium. And we're very celebratory city. And everyone was super excited. And then this silence that hit was, and everyone was in shock.
So is that why you're not going tomorrow night? Because you feel you're the mush? Is that what it is?
Look, it's rough being in LA. And like, I've got a lot of people that know the Rams and, but like, I can't wear the gear, but my stepdad gets really upset, but like I'm in LA, but I'm going to remain a Saints fan.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, these guys have season tickets that they sell off to people like yourself. For the opposing team.
Because he needs money.
Well, I mean, I don't know. By the way, I will be straight up with you. Nobody drops names in this studio like that guy over there.
I do.
You are
What's
the
your
one.
best one? What's your best name drop?
Oh, Liza Minnelli.
Oh, that was the last thing I expected to come out of your mouth. That is wild.
One of my first jobs, I was basically a cast driver.
When I
first moved out, because I became a Teamster because my uncle had connections.
Right.
And I drove Liza for a film for a month.
Where'd you drop her off that one night?
Scott Baio's house.
Stop.
How about this? Is this like the greatest Mad Lib ever? You're like, what's your biggest name drop? Proper name, Liza Minnelli. Where'd you drop her off one night? Scott Baio's house. And did you pick her up from there the next morning?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
Amazing.
How's that for a story?
Good for them. They were just like doing arts and crafts and watching what was ever before Netflix.
No, that's what. Yes, they were chilling.
Yep.
And
they were definitely chilling.
They were chilling, and it was. I think it was the arts and crafts of shame. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.